Sanbona, Absheni, Dumelang, hello, Bafetu. It's still me. Sure, you guys are hoping to get a different host, but it's so unfortunate. This is my show, you know. Anyway, yeah, I mean, you guys know, my only task today is to introduce people, and then they share with us why they're here. Because there's so many people in Soweto today.
Yes.
And
pumping, guys.
It's pumping, it's buzzing, and we're all here for different reasons. Some are here to celebrate the history and movement which took place on the 1976. Some are here to get drunk. Some are here to get high. Some are here to get learn. You know, like it's so nice.
Yes.
You know, like we all left our houses and homes. We're like, let's go meet up and
in the cold, which is like admirable. That's there's quite a lot of people for how cold it is outside. Look at me, like I'm wearing 5 layers of clothing. Yes, of course. We don't want to miss it.
Yeah. So welcome, my friend.
Thank you.
The Travelers Experiences podcast, and
thank you so much.
So here we sell.
Okay.
We sell. We dive into adventures people have been in.
Mm-hmm.
We share. That's what we do. We share.
Okay.
So,
cool.
We're all about sharing information.
Okay.
And it's very interesting that this show exists, you know, because I've never heard about a traveling podcast ever in my life, and whether people say I'm doing it right or not, but I'm doing it.
It's your interpretation.
Exactly. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
And that's what this show is all about, like sharing perspective.
Yeah.
You know? So I'll take this chance now to kind of like introduce you and kind of dive into why you're here. Because that's the whole point. Why are we here?
Yeah.
What are we celebrating?
Yes.
You know? So
awesome. Okay, so my name is Madeleine Tennyson, and I've been in the cannabis industry for about 2-3 years now, and I'm really focusing on private cannabis clubs. That's where my heart lies, and where my passion has sort of started, and where I found my space to go and establish myself in, you know.
Yeah.
So I've written a book with a good friend of mine who's a lawyer. His name is Brett Pollack, and it's a private cannabis club manual. So it's our interpretation of the legal arguments that you can possibly stand on, and how to then formulate that to make your own club. You don't have to belong to an organization that helps you do this. You can do it yourself. It is simple once you understand everything. So that's really where my heart lies, and I'm here today with 420 Central, who I also work for, and we're here to connect with you guys, because what we want to do is we want to bring a club model to where it all started. Okay, I'm meeting like Sneemans here that I bought weed from, like at weed events like 5-6 years ago. I always, as a student, when I started smoking weed, I got my weed from the taxi rank, right? So it was like those were the people that sorted me back then. And if you look at the industry and how things are being put together, those people are being left behind, and it's unfair because they've been doing it for the longest, right? So what we really want to do is we're creating a model called High Street, because you want to, you know, High Street, correct. And what we want to do is we want to create really like a network that enables even the guy that lives in an informal settlement that only has a small space for 4 plants, like, okay bro, let's give you proper genetics, let's take you through this process, and at the end of your period of growing this plant and your harvest, you bring it to us at the club, and we get it through this channel to our closed loop supply and demand system to help us exactly, and then to that guy we can give him a salary, you know, we can employ him, and in that way he can pay taxes, he can pay UIF, he can plan for his future instead of just exactly without changing what he does, right? Because that's like all the expertise is there, all the abilities there, all the experience, and they've learned all these incredible lessons about how to grow this plant with really very little resources to put into it. So we're trying to bring those guys to the party too with our High Street model, and our plan is to create our first branch here,
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
we can, we can really bring it home in the right
Exactly,
way. So
yeah.
we're here today to
Share.
connect with
Yeah,
with everyone here, and I'm meeting
Yeah.
some of the Sneemans, and some of them I know, which is so
I
cool.
spoke earlier, sorry to cut you off, but like I spoke to a few black Sneemans downstairs, and like, hey yo, have you all met white Sneemans? Hey, I brought together the white Sneemans on the day today, and it's so amazing to have the likes of 420 Central, and I mean, you and I and the whole team, we've been having conversations and working on a very solid big plan, which maybe I'd like for us to kind of tap into. I know it's not, maybe not. Maybe yeah. I mean, it's cannabis. Let's talk about it. Maybe let's talk about the influence in which the cannabis community has, like, health-wise, like, because there's a lot of people who utilize the cannabis for different reasons, but in most cases you find out it's the wrong reasons, like, just for getting high, hungry.
But that's not a wrong reason, though. Like, just wanting to get high. Like, if I can just get drunk, why can I not just get high?
Yeah,
There's nothing wrong with it.
exactly. But I've always said to people, like, it's my belief, like, whatever substance you take in, or whatever thing you take into this pyramid you are running in, you have to know, like, from food,
100%.
beverages,
Correct.
what do you smoke, is it good for you, or what way suits you to consume whatever it is that you want to consume or
100%.
utilize, and with me it's always about information, or staying informed, like, because I smoke, I smoke a lot of weed myself.
Even me.
I'm not even hiding that, but there's reasons behind why I smoke, and the only reason why I smoke is the only reason when I realized after smoking how I felt afterwards, and I was like, I've always been this hyped up kind of guy, like, just hyped up a bit, but weed kind of regulates that. And it's not just about staying high, but I started learning and researching what strain is good for an individual like me who behaves like this, because it's different strains for different folks.
100%.
So it got to that point of kind of understanding when and why or what one should consume in order to have certain relevant outcomes or expectations to be met at a certain extent. So it's really good to have you guys running with the Peyton, and not just you guys, but having the Boxshop Online radio team as well, joining forces with Matekwane Asoweto, Exchange Travel Tours, Stick Up, all of us, like, merging, and being like, standing firm and being like, this is who we are. There's different types of groups of people, like, we have groups, LGBT, blah 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 blah, the alphabet groups. they stand for something.
For sure.
We have cannabis community. We stand for something as well, we shouldn't be pointed out like, too high.
Exactly.
It's none of their business. It's our business why we get high.
Correct.
And why we consume, or so it's really interesting to find you guys here today with us, and to network, as you said, share. And where are you popped up right now? What is it that you are doing apart from networking? You're getting people high?
Yes. Well, okay. So it's always a nice thing to get consenting people high. My husband is a really lethal grower, and he's been experimenting a bit with creating some dabs.
Can I do a lab rat?
So we brought some of our toys, and we've just been, as people pass along, they might want to have a taste of this very interesting substance in front of them.
Reason why some people in the studio are wearing shades right now?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, you should have seen him half an hour ago, bro.
I'm gonna try to avoid
Until you don't have any. No, but actually though, one of your other crew members, I don't know if I'm allowed to name people, name and shame here. Okay, it was Mike. So. So we gave Mike a dab, and for a minute he died a little bit. Okay, there was lots of coughing, there was like teary eyes, and a lot of bro, I'm not gonna make it. And then he disappeared, and he came back after literally like a minute and a half, and he was like, "Guys, I feel great, thank you so much." And off he went, and he did all sorts of productive things. So maybe you can consider it, because it's not like
me.
Yeah, you!
The show still has to go on, unless you want us to do it now, which I'm not willing to show the world, like, son,
Yes.
don't be like that. But anyway, I'm gonna come on, I know you've been inviting me the whole time, you've been like, come on,
Yes.
I'm trying to stay away from you.
I'm keeping one for you, so it's got your name on it.
I just need as much people to come and share with me today. Maybe the last show will smoke for the first time in the studio. You never know. Things
For the
change.
first time in the studio.
No one has ever lit up anything here.
Wow.
So
guys,
seeing that I have the
powerful.
Cannabis community with me today, hey, what's
I
a
think you
chance?
gotta get your priorities
Come on, what's a
straight.
chance if you don't take one?
Exactly.
So we're gonna show the viewers maybe a small thing or two.
Molanyana.
That's something,
Okay,
So they don't
okay.
be shocked when they go to smokers sections and parties or shops to go get
Yeah,
smoking related
exactly.
stuff. So they know what to use
Yeah.
and which is good for what and what's not good for what.
100%.
Right? But anyway, one more thing. What do you have to say to the youth?
Okay, that's a good one. So I don't know if I told you guys, but I used to be a teacher. So if you have like younger brother or sisters that were recently like in high school in Magaliesburg, chances are they know me. which is an interesting thing, finding myself in the cannabis industry now. But because I was a teacher, like I really have a passion for kids in the sense of, it's a confusing time in life to grow up. It's weird to figure out like, where do you fit in, where do you belong, like who are you, how do you know who you are, how do you figure it out? It's weird
In this day and age.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So just, give yourself the chance to figure out who you are. Be true to what you believe in. Expand your experiences. Don't stick with the same group of people that have the same mindset all throughout your life. It's important to be exposed to different cultures, different religions, different social groups. It's really
well-informed is very
yeah,
important.
man, and there's a whole world out there, and we all live in these little parallel universes right next to each other. But every once in a while, it intersects, and then like shit like today happens. Right here we are, like our little universes have intersected today. And that's what life is about. Is we have to figure out what is going on here, and the only way you can do that is by being out there and seeing things and experiencing things. So don't cut yourself off. Don't think that you need to hold yourself to some invisible standard that no one is explaining to you. We're all adults, and I can with all honesty say I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, I'm figuring this out as I go, and that's what most of us do. Even however well put together we may seem, we're all just figuring it out and doing our best.
Exactly.
So if you're trying your best and you still can't figure it out, just keep going, man. You're gonna get there. We'll see you at the other end, and weed's probably gonna help you figure it out depending on what's going on with you personally. Weed was a really good tool for me to help figure out who I am and where I belong. So don't give up on being happy. It's possible, but you got to do that for yourself, and you have to figure out who you are and where you belong.
No one else can make you happy.
No one else can. No one else can. And it's a choice,
Exactly.
all the little decisions that you make every day that add up at the end of the day. And that's what matters. Yeah.
I mean, it was really awesome to have you.
Awesome. That was lucky to be here, man.
It's always lucky to be here.
Yeah, of course it's lucky to be here.
So later on, hopefully, I'll come and join you guys at the balcony over there. People who are still at the box shop lifestyle inside Vilagasa Street.
Come
and
past.
people are still getting gas.
Awesome.
People are still getting joints. People are still getting.
Yes.
I haven't started on the high part, but now that I had you on the show,
We're gonna work on it.
okay, yeah.
We're gonna work on it.
Someone told me I put something, I won't put names, I just put you on. Oh. Shoot me up! Shoot me up! So when you go to the show, and make it a point you don't come up to the show and smoke up with me because I'll be hiding somewhere. But anyway, I mean, if you'd like to give a shout out and where we could find you guys, visit you guys, maybe you're around the country or outside the country or having a shop in New York, whatever, just tell the viewers on where to find the good stuff, you know?
Okay, so 420 Central is about like 15-20 kilometers outside of Krugersdorp, so between Krugersdorp and Hartyside. And we are a private members club, so you do need to sign up. We don't deal, we supply cannabis within a closed loop system to our members. But you're very welcome to come and check it out. We've already invited you guys, most of you have been, you have not. We'll sort that out. And you can also find us online, 420central.co.za. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. And yeah, we're just all about like making this available in a safe and responsible way. Without taking anything away from anyone in terms of, you know, I should have access to this, whether I have the space to grow my own or the time to grow my own. The court has said I'm allowed to do this privately, okay? That's my constitutional right now. So just because I don't have the space to grow my own or I kill everything that I try and grow, that doesn't mean I can't have access. So we're all about finding ways to legitimately enable people to access this in a safe way, in a responsible way, without dealing.
And as far as consumption methods or ways.
Yeah, correct. So
I never knew about dabs until I met you guys, and I was like, okay, I've been smoking weed for funny. I don't know, I like this.
Yeah.
But I never met dabs. You know, like you learn something new every day.
100%.
It's all based on one's interest and one's surroundings to have the knowledge or information or insight.
Yeah, correct.
But yeah, I mean, thank you so much to.
Thanks for having me. It was like chatting to you.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
So
I want to see you on the other side of this.
Of course, I'm going to be at the edge.
Yes.
This by the time we meet up again today.
Fantastic.
But yeah, I mean, it's me, your boy, Dewey, and you want to introduce yourself for the
Thanks,
last time?
guys. Marlene, lucky to be here. It was really nice to speak to you guys, and we're having loads of fun. So if you're not here yet, there's still time. Come and join in.
And more dabs, right?
More dabs.
And if you come in time, you might meet up with her and you get a hookup. But yeah,
Sort you out.
thank you so much. It was nice having you guys. Shout out.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Nice one.
Lock up.